Have you noticed that the be kind people are not kind to the homeless at all because they allow them to live degraded and degrading lives, dying of skin infections and God knows what else in the subway, and that they filled up homeless shelters with migrants while Americans who need shelter can just what? What? What are they supposed to do? Oh no, Democrats don't care. Why am I talking about that? Because that's directly related to this New York Post story we're going to be discussing in just a moment. But before we get to it, I want to welcome you back to the political living room. I am Karen. This is my living room, and we're going to have a little tiny chat about politics before I go to the farmer's market, because I do not live in a food desert. Even though I'm Black, I thought all us Black people lived in food deserts and we were all dying of obesity because junk food, because no supermarket and reasons and no money. But I'll tell you something. If I did live in a food desert, I'd walk my little self to the supermarket, or I'd find a bus to take. I think I would just manage. Okay. Diversion over. Let's get to the New York Post story. Here we go. This says, Bat-wielding man who whacked homeless man in the head avoids jail with sweetheart plea deal from Manhattan DA Bragg. Of course, because who cares about homeless people? We want to be nice to criminals. All of our kindness goes to criminals. For people who actually need some kindness from the government, who cares? Who cares? Come on. Come on. The homeless cost money. It doesn't cost anything to shove a criminal out on the street. Now, it might cost someone their life or their physical integrity or their ability to earn a living, but bet. If the goal is to destabilize our society as quickly as possible, then you can use criminals to further that end. And I cannot imagine what else could be on these people's minds. Okay, let's take a look at the article. Here we go. It says, a bat-wielding man caught on camera whacking a homeless person in the head during a shocking attack on a city street will avoid jail time under a sweetheart plea deal with the Manhattan DA's office, the Post has learned. So, can you imagine? Dude's walking down the street with a bat, just whacks some dude in the head, and he can go home because, be kind. Just be kind to the criminal. Forget about the person who's actually in need. We have to be kind to criminals. Let's keep going. The prosecutors said they offered Kareem Azizi the cushy deal in part because they'd been unable to find his victim. They have it on video. Why do they have to find the man who could be dead if they have it on video? That's just bullshit. That is just bullshit. A 47-year-old homeless man who suffered gruesome injuries to his face and head in the November 29th, 2022 beatdown in Sugar Hill. So they couldn't find the man who's homeless already, who could very well have died, if not immediately from those injuries, then from the side effects thereof. You're already dealing with someone who can't take care of themselves. And then this guy, Kareem Azizi, comes and whacks him in the head and damn near kills him. Why do they think they can't find him? Because the man is dead. One of the things I am convinced that our government is trying to do, as I said earlier in the video, is to allow our society to become chaotic and to demoralize and frighten law-abiding people. I am really not sure why they're doing that. I have my speculations, and that would be a whole completely different video. But as far as proof goes, I don't know why they're doing that. But that appears to be what they're doing. All of this be kind nonsense is for criminals. It's not be kind to law-abiding citizens and make sure that they see where their tax money is going. It's not be kind to people who are really vulnerable, like the homeless or people who are mentally ill. It's be kind to people who come in here from other countries and commit acts of violence. And specifically, I'm referring to the migrants who have been arrested multiple times and to those who have been arrested for beating up cops. What is this? What is it? I don't know. Let's keep going. After diligent efforts to find the victim were unable, because he's probably dead. And, if he somehow or another fell into a river, or, I don't know, is in some cranny in the city, for the love of God, these people. Assistant DA Heather Manley explained to a judge in Manhattan Supreme Court on Thursday, according to a transcript on the hearing. What? They have it on video. Why do they? I just don't know. She added that Azizi, 36, didn't have a prior criminal history. Does he need one? Why does he need one? I really believe that if someone commits an act that violent, that random, against someone who is completely helpless, I don't think you should need a prior criminal history. I think it should just be, bye. Bye for good. See you later. Okay. Azizi didn't have a criminal history and was willing to take responsibility for his actions. What does that mean? No responsibility has been placed on him. He's not going to jail. There's no consequences here. But Azizi did go on to say that he had been dealing with the loss of a family member at the time of the attack. So the death of the family member made him try to kill somebody. I'll tell you something. Both of my parents died within 6 months of each other. At no time did I take a bat to the head of a homeless person or commit any other act of violence. That is nonsense. That is a way of manipulating. Actually, I was going to say it's a way of manipulating lawyers into feeling sorry for this individual, but he's not manipulating the lawyers. I wonder if this is even true, and if it's something that the lawyers came up with to garner sympathy from the public, who is now subject to be preyed upon by this Azizi individual. So, I have a question for people who like to forgive violent criminals like this guy. What if it was you? What if that homeless person was your husband, or your brother, or your son, or your friend, or you? And some lunatic decided to just try to cave his head in because reasons, and what he managed to say by way of an excuse was, a member of my family died, so I lost my mind, and I tried to knock your head off with a freaking bat. Are you going to forgive them? I wouldn't. Not for a second. We do not need to be kind to criminals. We also need, while we can still vote, to vote these terrible people out of office. They do not care about vulnerable people. They do not care about everyday citizens. They care about pushing whatever their agenda is and eroding the quality of life for everyday citizens. That is their game. That is their goal. And it absolutely must stop. All right, I've got to go to the farmer's market before it closes. And yeah, I've got to walk. Amazing. Black woman walking to the farmer's market. Somebody tell the Democrats they don't think I exist. I'll see you in the next video. And until then, here we go. Come on back, computer. Until then, have a great night, folks. Bye-bye.